Hello, this is Mike, NoStressMike.com. I really need to apologize for some of the replies I do on the comments. And now, on apologizing for some of the statements that I make on the videos and stuff, I don't know about that, if I'm going to apologize about that. Because the ones that have been watching my videos realize the situation that I'm in. And I make videos on what's on my mind on that particular time. So I am saying what's on my mind. I'm not saying it's always right. But I am giving you my honest thoughts when I make these videos. Now, like I say, on the comments, when I reply on the comments, remember I made the video on I am perfect. So the thing is, I don't always have a clear understanding of the comments. And depending on the time that I'm reading these comments, I might get a meaning out of it, and then, you know, the next day or something like that, I'll read the comment and I'll think, well, it's not quite the way I read it the first time. So my replies will come out, like I say, sarcastic, and maybe even, I hate to say it, offensive, because I really don't. Sarcastic, yes, because I'm in a spot, I'm trying to use words to reply, and the words don't always come out quite right. And so like that. Now, offensive, I really don't mean to offend people in my words when I'm writing stuff down. And really, what do you call it? The electronic media, whether it's videos on the cell phone, because my hearing is not all that great, and so I misunderstand a lot of stuff. So that's why I am normally pretty good face to face, because I'm reading body language along with the words that I'm hearing. And like I say, normally I can put the words and the body language together, and then I know what you're talking about. And like I say, but when it's written, I'm probably not going to get the whole gist of what you're saying. I'm just kind of hoping to get the point that you're trying to make. And you know as well as I know, here on YouTube, there's evil people, and that get on here. And I've talked about predators. There's predators. There's all kinds of people on here. I don't expect to please everybody on what my thoughts are and stuff like that. And like I say, when it comes to really just downright offending people, I really don't do that. There is an exception, just like I always say, there's an exception to everything. Before I get into a physical encounter with someone, now, not always. Normally I'm focused on what I'm going to do, and then I'm just waiting to see when and who I'm going to do it to. But sometimes I will say offensive things. I think I might have mentioned it in one of my videos. There was a guy in one of my restaurants that was giving the waitresses a hard time, and he was really obnoxious. And then my wife went over to him and let him know to, calm himself down and everything's going to be okay, and all this. And he just got more belligerent, and he got really nasty. And then what happened is he just got really bad, and so it was time for him to leave. And so then they told me. And so I came out of the kitchen, I had my apron on and everything, and I came out there and I politely, why? Because there was witnesses. Okay, so I politely asked him to leave. And then he started on me, and this is what I think is funny. And he started on me, and he says, if you didn't have an apron on, like wow, so then bam, my apron was off. I don't really like doing things inside. I don't want to tear up my place. But there's exceptions to every rule. And so my apron was off just like that. And then his friends all, told him, hey, we're gonna leave. And why? Because his friends knew me, or knew of me. And so they left. And as he was leaving, he slammed the door real hard. And I think he said something nasty. But like I say, my hearing is not real good, so I didn't get it. But anyway, so they went on out, and I went on out after. You don't do that. But anyway, I did. Because I knew I can read people really, really well. Evil people, I can. And I knew he was bad. And so then I went on out, and then they went to their car, and they were getting in the car, and I went over to the car, and I looked at the license tag, like I was going to remember the license tag number, so then I come walking back, and then, like I say, he's an evil person. So he jumped out of the car, and he coming for me, and I had my back to him, and I was walking, but I could see his reflection in the glass, and I knew he was coming up on me. And then so then, just before he got to me, then that's when I turned to him and faced him. And there was no witnesses other than the people in the restaurant. They were all lined up at the glass, but they knew what was getting ready to happen. And so then he comes up to, so then he come over to me, but he stayed out of arm's reach. And he commenced to saying all kinds of nasty things to me and stuff like that. And then, but like I say, it was talking about comments. This is what this guy was. Talk. But it wasn't a comment. He was in front of me. And so he's explaining what he's going to do to me. All these things he's going to, hurt me, and he's going to, all kinds of stuff. And so then after he was saying that, there was no witnesses other than the ones watching. They couldn't hear what I was saying. And I politely, in a soft voice, started talking about his mother. Okay. I know that wasn't right. I know. I remember I was young. I was probably 25 years old, something like that. And so then I said stuff about his mama, and man, he got hyper. I do that because, like I said, when you get in physical contact in some type of combat, you have a plan. You stay focused on your plan, and you're going to get through the situation okay, providing you have a good plan and you've got the abilities to back up this plan. I had a good plan, and I got the abilities. So, and like I say, I keep my calm because, like I say, I'm focused on my plan. He was not calm, and he got really hyper. And so then, and I still continued on with it, boy, you talk real big, but, I don't see much action. That, am I going to hurt your feelings, make you cry? And I was nasty. I was really bad. And then his friends all started coming out, and it's okay. The more, the merrier. I don't mind it. But the thing is, his friends knew me or knew of me, And so then they grabbed a hold of him and dragged him off. And while they were dragging him off, I saw the police car drive up. It's funny because inside there was some police eating. And so they were watching me do my thing, you know, so they weren't going to get involved. But a police car drove by. And so then, you know, no big deal. He was going his way, I was going my way, and the police car stopped and went over and started talking to him. And, you know, I went on inside, no big deal. Later on, I found out that this guy he escaped from prison in Texas. This was up in the Kansas-Oklahoma line, that's where I was at. And he escaped from a prison in Texas for murder. This guy was bad. And so and they went on and arrested him, and they were real happy and everything. And I say the police inside, they found out what it was, and they came over and told me what the situation was. So that's the only time that I purposely offend people. So like I say, and by something I write, I guarantee I'm not trying to offend anybody. Because like I say, even though a lot of people, they are big on offending with words because you're not there in your face. Me, I'm real polite on words, supposedly. But like I say, sometimes it'll come out not so nice. And that is what I'm apologizing for. And I say so. And I do know, because I've been reading, go back and I read some of the comments, and I do, after I read it again, I say, well, you know, I was a little more bold than what I should have been. I shouldn't have been quite like that. But I have people, they come up with the weirdest comments. And, you know, like I say, the one where, you know, last time I shot someone in Kansas, you know, they said, boy, you know, you act so happy, you know, and I'm thinking, you know, and I don't know how to put it in writing, but the way I look at it, now I may be all wrong, but the way I look at it, this was a 17-year-old robber with a mask. I didn't know he was a kid, and even if it didn't make any difference if he was a kid or not, the guy's armed. And he ended up, I put a bullet in his face. And they said, well, boy, you sure do seem happy about it. Now, wait a minute, let me think about this. Maybe I should be not happy, and I'd be much happier if I was the one that got the bullet in the face. Okay, the bullet in his face changed that guy's life forever. And I say, 18, he was healed up. And it changed his life so much. He was such a bad guy. I told the story on there. I mean, this guy is bad. Even the police knew he was bad. But at 18, after he healed up, he got a dozen of his friends with guns. They come to my house to kill me and my family. Now come on. And I'm not supposed to be happy on what I did? You know, I mean, and I don't know how to write that in words on what it is. And then I get another comment. And it's funny because a lot of times it's people that don't know of me that are making these comments. And, well, I mean, there's ones that are really radical. And I had another guy say, you mean you're going to shoot through a wall without seeing exactly your target? You have to visualize your target. You have to see your target. You just don't shoot without seeing your target, you know. And, you know, this guy is thinking, in his mind, he is thinking of you have somebody coming inside your house to steal something, you know, I don't even know what they call these guys, but they just grab it and they go. And then that's what he's thinking. I know that's what he's thinking. He doesn't know what I do. I'm thinking there's 6 guys on the other side of this wall that are heavily armed, that are either, I don't know if they're coming from me or not, but they're in my house or my business or whatever it is. Now, do you really think I'm going to want to care how old these people are, or if they're men or women or whatever? Because you know I don't hurt women, but like I say, when they are predators coming into my house or my property or whatever, I'm going to shoot through the walls. I don't care who the hell they are, because they're all the same. They're threats. They're threats to me personally, or my family, or like I say, I'm the sheepdog kind of guy, so it's friends, family, or customers. It doesn't make any difference. I don't care. If you're a threat, you're evil, I really just don't care. And I don't know how to put this in a reply. So that's why some of my replies may seem sarcastic, as I haven't been able to make describe the whole thing to you. And but I do try to tell them that, like I say, I'm into the extreme part of self-defense, and that's something that most people can't relate to. But if you've been watching my videos, you know this is what I am into. Like I say, one or two muggers, you know, it's not that big of a thing. It's when they got the whole team with them and they're all well armed. That's the kind of stuff that I get into. So I am apologizing if you know, I've said things out of line on the comments and on the replies to the comments. But I really do, and this is the hard part. I love the comments because I didn't clarify something properly. I understand that. But like I say, if you only seen one or two of my videos, it doesn't make any sense. I mean, I catch it from the compact AK-47. It's the same thing. I catch hell on that. And like I say, they don't understand exactly what that is used for. You know, and the same thing, shooting out of the pocket. You know, well, you know, I mean, you don't shoot out of your pocket. You got to bring it out. You got to aim. You know, you got, you know, all these safety things you got to worry about. You know, what's behind the target. You have to, you know, what's behind the target and all that kind of stuff. You know, I don't know. I'm not into that. I don't teach safety in the way of handling a firearm the proper, safe way. I'm not into that. You know, I don't teach it. By the time somebody gets to me, they way beyond that kind of stuff. So it's funny when I'm showing firearms. You know, I don't. You know what? When you see people on the showing a firearm, they'll pull this. They'll drop the magazine. They'll pull the slide back. See, this is unloaded and stuff. I don't go through any of that kind of crap. I just go right on directly to the meat and potatoes of what the hell I'm talking about. So I understand I may sound kind of cruel sometimes, but like I say, the comments are very important, that I know that I'm getting the point across. And I don't answer I don't answer all the comments. If you're just making a statement, I don't answer it, you know, unless the statement you're making is, you know, it's really off from what I was trying to say. In other words, you didn't catch the point of what I was trying to get across. And I say a lot of it is storytelling, because, and like I say, I don't fill in a lot of details. But I say, if you know me, you know I don't just brutally hurt people. That's not what I do. Even though a lot of times I sound bad, I'm nothing like that. Like I say, I get along with everybody. The whole point of everything I do is to make friends, network, get to know people. I can get things done when I get to know people and they get to know me, not by intimidating them or brutalizing them or making fun of them and stuff like that. That's not the way to make friends and influence people. So but I do know I do make that mistake. I have no one to not only proofread what I write, but also to make sure that I understand the statements or the comments that's being made. So sometimes I might be off a little bit, and so that's what I'm apologizing for. This is Mike, NoStressMike.com.